Well, hey everybody, I got my National Stacy. This is my National guitar. It's a resophonic, and I've got it tuned to natural tuning, which means nothing exotic, nothing special. Just, regular old tuning. And let's see if I can get this dialed in for you. There we go. And so I wanted to show you some really, really basic blues today because I think it's important to, I was talking to one of my students, and I think it's important, they were saying they were studying something really kind of primal and basic, and I thought, gee, I should probably share something like that with my peeps. So I'm going to just do you some open E, in the key of E, right? And I had given a shorty on this one, and I thought I'd give a little longer version, and I would incorporate both the 1, 4, and the 5 chords. So 1, 4, 5 is, you've heard that a million times, right? It's like every song in the world. But let's start out with just a real basic. So it's really a slow acoustic shuffle. But what I'm doing is put my first finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. Then I'm going to jump up to the 4th fret of the A string with my 3rd finger. And we're just going to keep it real simple for now. So I'll slow that down a little for you. Okay? You see how I'm jumping from the 2nd to the 4th. Now when you're hitting that open E with that, it gives a nice sound. Okay? Okay, now we're going to do exactly the same move. We're going to go down 1 string. When I say down, I mean this way, to the A string. And now, of course, the first finger will be on the D string, 2nd fret, and the D string, 4th fret. I'll slow that down. Right? And then back to the E. Now, we've all heard this, obviously, a million times, but it bears repeating. And what I'm going to do here is just, there's a couple ways many ways you can do this. I'm just going to hit a B7th chord. We know that. I think we know that by now. And then to the A move. And back to the E. And sometimes you can resolve to the B and just walk up chromatically on the A string. So let's just open A, 1st fret, and then land on that 2nd fret of the A and finger your B7th chord. Spell that right out. Okay. So here's the whole package all the way through, and see if you can follow me on this. I'm going to play it fairly slowly the first time, and then I'll play it up to speed so you can get an idea of what it sounds like. So. Just kind of hanging out on E. Now we're going to go to the A string. Come back to the E. Sorry. Now I'm just going to go to that B7th chord. And then to the A move. And then if you want, you can, or you can just go. Just let it loop. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Now I'm going to expand. I don't want to get too crazy with this stuff. I want to keep it simple for you, but if you want to add to that, you can just go. Do that, and then you can go up. Kind of cool. To the 5th fret on the A string. That's an option. Okay? And then go do the same thing in the A. Give it a little to the 5th fret, and then back to the E. And then just back to that B7th chord, any way you want to do it. And then the A. And then what I might do here is I might come down on that low E string, and then I would do any number of turnarounds. And I've done a lot of lessons on just turnarounds because they're so cool. But it's what takes you, A turnaround is what gets you turned around back to the verse again, right? So what it would sound like if we do a real basic one is make a D7th chord, right? You know that one? So that's the on the G string a 2, one on the B, and 2 on the E. If you don't know a D7th, now you do. Now walk that up 3 frets, okay? So now you're up here on the 3rd fret, or 4th fret, I should say. So you got 4th fret on the G, 2nd finger, 3rd fret on the B, 1st finger, and 4th fret on the high E, 3rd finger. And what it sounds like, if you walk it down what we call chromatically, which means 1 step at a time, so you go like this. Spell it out, and then 1 more. Walk it down, 1 more. And then you can either hit the full E7th chord, or just, yeah, hit the E chord there. So what that sounds like, and so it makes sense to you, is when I'm coming back down off the turnaround, or off the verse, I'm going to that 5 chord, which is a B7th, and then the little A move. And then you hit the low E string as a marker, and then do your turnaround. Okay? So once again, I'm going to play it through the whole thing so you can grasp how it works going from the 1 to the 4 to the 1 to the 5 to the 4 to the 1. 1 being E, 4 being A, then back to the 1 is an E, and then the 5 is a B7th, and then the 4 is the A, and back to the 1. And whether that number means anything to you, it doesn't really matter at this point of the game. Then you do the little walk down. So here we go, and I'll call out the changes as we go. So here's the E. Let's hang out there for a bit. And then when we want to indicate a change, we'll go now to the A. And back to the E. And again, make that little move, which indicates a change to the B7th, and then to the A move, and then come down on that low E string, and then, I'm exaggerating, and do the little walk down. And if you want, you can resolve to the B, and start all over. Now I'm going to play it up to speed, and I'm going to add some crazy stuff to it, so don't worry about that. We'll get to that later. If you want to get into some deep blues, go to jimmydillon.com, and if you put /free, you'll get a bunch of free stuff. And if not, or if you want to go deeper, you can check out my courses on acoustic blues, and I do a lot of different lessons about this kind of stuff. So here we go. I'm going to fancy it up. So there's a little blues from the garden for you. I hope you got something out of that. Again, hit me up at jimmydillon.com, and I'll love to be in touch with you. You know, leave some comments, whatever. If you got requests, just send me a message. Okay, I'll see you down the road.